Hello everyone out there and welcome to this, another edition of a late night screen review. This time we're talking about Godzilla -1. This film was directed by Takashi Yamazaki and is in cinemas from the 15th of December. That's in the UK, and I think it's come out a few days earlier all over the rest of the world. So I think we're a little bit behind on this one. So here we are, folks, and I've got to be honest, I'm really excited about this one. I am a mental Godzilla fan. Always have been, always will be. I'm most especially a big fan of the old school 1960s and 1970s Godzilla movies. I cannot beat two guys in rubber suits dressed as monsters beating the living crap out of each other for our entertainment. It's the best thing ever. But also, I've always been a big fan of the movies where it takes Godzilla seriously, and this film is one of those kinds of films. So what's the story? So this movie takes place in post-World War II Japan. Japan's been devastated, you know, it's rubble, it's ruin, there's bomb sites everywhere. The country's in a real bad state and they're just trying to rebuild. And our story takes place around a particular kamikaze pilot who, unfortunately, during the war, did not complete his mission and kind of returns to his hometown that's now in ruins in disgrace. And something comes along down the pipeline in the shape of a giant, monstrous lizard to further wreak destruction on Japan. I feel really bad for Japan in this movie. So what did I think of this film? I mean, come on. Now, there's been a lot of buzz on the internet about this movie. It's smashing all the kind of box office records, you know, it being made on such a low budget. I think the budget was going on around the internet being like 15 million, which is obviously an incredibly low budget. But the director obviously has responded to that by laughing and going, I wish we had 15 million. This film was made for somewhere around $13 million, which is just crazy for saying how good this film looks and how amazing the story is. So obviously a lot of hype out there. Everybody's loving this movie. Everybody's jumping on the bandwagon, and it is completely justified in my personal opinion. Yes, I'm biased. I'm a massive mental fan of Godzilla, but I do critique Godzilla. I don't love every Godzilla movie. There are problems in certain films, etc, etc, etc. So I'm not like a crazed fan. But yes, I'm a big fan and I loved this movie. I think it is a real special film because it just shows, I think, the world and the global markets just how good films can be made on low budgets and then bring in a decent profit. So this film is in the plus in terms of bringing its profits in. It's doing really well to bring kind of like foreign markets, and when I say foreign markets, I mean the Western markets, in line and getting people out to the cinemas. So it's doing really good business on that, and I'm really happy about that because I think anytime a small, low-budget movie can really make an impact in cinema and kind of in the media on large is only a good thing. And this film is no exception. I mean, it was amazing to me to go and see a Toho Godzilla movie at the mainstream cinema in the UK. I didn't have to kind of go far to find it. It was literally shown at my local Cineplex at Cineworld in Loughborough. Took my partner to go, and you know, we had an absolute blast with this film. I was so happy when the Toho symbol came up. I squealed like a small little child, and I couldn't wait to see this film, and it delivered on everything. I mean, story, structure, editing, acting, special effects, action sequences, sound design. I mean, every single one of these was done beautifully. And again, is it the greatest film you're going to ever see in your life? I mean, probably not. But for a Godzilla movie, for a low budget foreign film to get to Western cinemas, mainstream cinemas, and do really good business. And if you're thinking, well, yeah, but it can't be that good, it is. It's a great movie, and I think it just, to me, it really kind of shows, you know, the bigger studios. You know, you've got the Disney Plus and all those kind of people who are, you know, they can't even make a well-rounded quality Star Wars movie with the biggest budgets in the world, with the biggest studios backing them, with all the best special effects. And we can't even get a fairly decent Star Wars film, in my opinion. And yet Toho and this small studio managed to make this incredible movie for less than $13 million. I mean, it really goes to show. The main character is, I think, Koichi Shikishima. I apologize for the pronunciation. I'm not very good with Japanese names. But he's the main character. He's the character we follow. He's the disgraced fighter pilot from the Second World War, and we follow his story coming back home to a devastated town, devastated Japan. There's just rubble everywhere, and we see him rebuilding his life. As he goes along, he meets some other characters. So there's the other main character. Comes along, who's a woman by the name of Noriko Oishi, I think, and she plays a woman that kind of just stumbles into his life, and she has a baby, and they kind of form a kind of a sort of you know, a makeshift family unit, trying to rebuild their lives together. And then on top of that, he's got his fishing crew, because he gets a job as he comes back as like a kind of, they hunt mines, leftover mines that are surrounding the coast of Japan, and he's on like a trawler boat with like a scientist and a couple of other guys. That's a really fun, really interesting kind of character dynamics. You've obviously got the military and all those kind of things coming in, and then you've got the main big guy himself, Godzilla, who again is just done beautifully well. I mean, some of the devastation sequences, and this film essentially is just a very serious film about, you know, a giant lizard attacking Japan in its weakest moments. And the devastation that this creature wrought upon these poor citizens is genuinely devastating and heart-stopping. And I was just like, wow, through some of these sequences. And it's very rare that I get a visceral kind of experience like that from a movie. There's one sequence where the main character is just trying to rescue his friend from an attack by Godzilla, and people are just running everywhere, and then Godzilla unleashes his kind of atomic blast for the first time, and that sequence is absolutely jaw-dropping. I mean, who knew you could get that from a Godzilla film? As I say, I could harp on and on and on about this film. I could talk about it for an hour easily. If you're a Godzilla fan, you need to go see this at the cinema. You need to see this on the big screen, just for the sound effects alone. I mean, the roar and the blast from Godzilla in this movie is like jaw-dropping. It's devastating. It's incredible. You know, is it the best Godzilla film I've ever seen? I don't think so, but it's close. And again, for a small, low-budget, you know, foreign movie, this film is just incredibly well-paced, well-written, well-acted. Without the Godzilla sequences in it, it would be, you know, a fun, interesting, devastating, sad portrayal of post-World War II in Japan, and the characters just trying to rebuild their lives. Just that alone is engaging enough. But then throw Godzilla in the mix, and you've got these incredible sequences on top of that, these incredible special effects, and like I say, scary for some sequences in this movie. You will feel the fear of these poor citizens as they're running for their lives from this giant beast. I'm not going to keep going on about the movie. If you're curious, go see it. If you're a giant monster fan, go see it. If you're a Godzilla fan, you will love this movie. I would be shocked if a Godzilla fan out there did not like this film. So it's a high recommend from me. And until next time, guys, stay safe, stay scared, and we'll speak to you soon. Bye.